Why can't I think of the first verse?
Wake up early in the morning.
Okay, you're right, okay. All right, boys.
Fucking out of tune, but I don't care. Well, here we go.
Want some lunch, you guys?
Lunch. Bam, they're laughing at me.
There is nothing fake about Chas and Dave.
Whether they're in the middle of Abbey Road or they walk across the street for some jellied eel if they can find some, the mask doesn't slip because it's no mask.
I've been friends with Chas and Dave forever. It's so original and it's just fun.
Way back in the 50s, rock and roll was still unknown. A man come out of nowhere with a sound all of his own.
You know, on the one hand, it was asking Chas and Dave to revisit their original inspiration. At the same token, I'm revisiting mine.
Lonely got the chewing gum song again. Bring a little water and a long lost John Henry.
It's just music that makes you feel it there, and it makes you want to get up and dance, and you think, oh, this is the best thing I've ever heard, and everything makes sense, and it gets me dancing. That's what they do.
They make it sound so easy. There's this Latin motto, Ars Solari Artemis, the art is to conceal the art. And that's exactly what they do. The things they do so well that people don't realize how rare they are. I mean, they can really, really play.
Put on the gramophone, strum that old guitar, wear my fingers to the bone.
It feels like putting on an old pair of shoes, getting up and playing with these guys, just great music, great fun.
They're not playing for themselves, they're playing for the song. That's a magic moment. But boring half hours.
After 4 decades playing together, the last 4 years have been a bit tough for Chas and Dave. We nearly lost Dave to retirement. Bearing that in mind, this album is a degree of unknown territory, but this is the album that they probably wanted to make for a while.
Just usually it's me and Chas and Nick, his boy. But when you start playing with other people and they'll be chucking in ideas as well, it'll make a change for us.
You blamed it on you!
They're fucking cheats. They're not skifflers after all.
That's lovely, thanks.
Well, everything's a surprise. You're a fool if you step into a situation like this and think you know what's going to happen.
Nothing's cast in stone with me and Chas yet. We don't really know what we're doing.
Hang on a sec. Hold it. Hey.
There's a scope to playing in a big room. There's a dimension to it where you really hear the grain in the air, and you really hear the room as almost one more participant, and that's a really exciting way to work.
It's like nice to have one or two plans and say that'll get us started, and that might turn out great. But then someone goes, "Hey, what if we try this?" And that's when it starts to happen in the studio.
So there's a certain telepathy between us that, that we got used to.
You can't put that into music. You can't write that down. You can't photograph it. There's no way. It's there, and you just look at each other and you go, "Yeah, the feeling's there." Can't give you anything but love, baby. Love's the only thing I got plenty of, baby.
Some of the songs they've written over the years, they're part of my life. They have their own sound. They've created something very unique.
I wake up early in the morning, hear the ding-dong ring. Knife and fork upon the table, it's the same damn thing. Knife and fork upon the table, and nothing in my pan. But if I complain about it, I'm in trouble with the man at the midnight special.
People have said to me before, they probably said to Dave, said, "Oh, have you got all the songs ready then?" I said, "No, we haven't." What, you're going in there and you ain't got any songs? Well, we'd never do that. Here's something to start with to get your teeth into, and you always know along the line, once you get together with the musicians, something's going to come out that you didn't even plan.
A piece of paper in a hand,
for all of us, it was about, grounding ourselves to an original impulse. And that music is just really alive. And when you hear it, I think it's sort of undeniable that it is. You don't have to be a fan of skiffle or folk music or early rock and roll music to be moved when you hear Midnight Special. You don't have to know the history of it. You don't have to know who Leadbelly was.
Shine is ever loving light on me.
Yeah, it was all bad. You take the second half of the song.
As players, they're incredible because you just start playing something and immediately they just start playing along with it. They just slot straight in. They're incredible. So it's always a pleasure to always learn something new.
When we found out that Hugh Laurie was going to play as well, it was just a great opportunity to say, I don't think I've ever recorded anywhere with 3 pianos.
Like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Jules and Chaz, when they get going, those are 2 monstrous piano players. I was being sort of squeezed by these 2 giants either side. So I wound up just going, is anybody using the B flat? Because if no one's using it, I'll just go every now and then.
Have a bit of fun all by myself.
You've all got 10 fingers and 88 notes, and it's a lot. So it's great when it all fits in, and there's a moment where it all slips into time, and the syncopation, and it's great. It makes you want to have a dance. But you can only do it if you're with fellows like these that do it all the time, that have that element of boogie where they can get a crowd going with boogie. It's one of the hardest things to do, actually.
No, I was squeezed in that sandwich, but happily squeezed. My God, if you're going to be squeezed by anybody, Jules Holland and Chaz, that's some good chunks of bread there. I feel I'm getting in your way.
This New Orleans marching big time fan band. It's fucking great.
3 pianos on wheels.
It's all happening naturally, and that's how I feel about rock and roll. I can't remember sitting down learning it. I just did it. Let's do a rock and roll song, and they become like folk songs because you don't learn them off a piece of paper. They're there, and then you make them your own. 2, 3, 4, 1. You got the right string, baby, but the wrong yo. Somebody's knocking on your door. Passed this morning by the hardware store. Brought a brand new string for my yo-yo. Walked up to the doctor and I got the string put on. He made a mistake, put the string on wrong. Don't want you knocking on my door. You got the right string, baby, but the wrong yo-yo. My mama told me and my papa did too.
It's the first time we've had somebody produce one of our albums since 1977. It's a bit of a find to work with Joe. He's of the same idea as we are. He loves the natural side of us coming out.
We played a song called Railroad Bill that Chaz said, this is the first song I ever sang into a recording microphone. I was 12 years old. It wasn't a moment of nostalgia. It was about putting his hand back to that and knowing that impulse is still vivid and alive for him, as it is for all of us.
Well, I'm going up the mountain, I'm going out west. 44 pistol sticking out of my vest. I'm gonna ride Railroad Bill. Gonna ride Railroad Bill.
when there are the kind of records and the kind of artists who are willing and able to come out on the floor and get out of the isolation booths and get away from headphones, it grounds people and really reminds them that they're, you know, capturing a moment.
Railroad Bill, a loaded railroad bill. He never works and he never will. I'm gonna ride a railroad bill. Gonna ride a railroad bill.
I go along with that. I sort of suddenly thought halfway through, I'm in a club now. Yeah. And there's an audience. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I know this music is real and I know it's authentic to them, and that's my entire goal. But my belief is that if we have actually made a record that is authentic to their spirit, people will hear it. And the people that care about it will be delighted. I mean, that's my theory.
I built my life around you, did what I thought was right. You never cared about me, now I've seen the light. Oh, darling.
And the beauty of it is like you're freezing time forever. It's like once you've done the record and you're pleased and proud of it. That's it.
You seem to think that everything I ever did was wrong. I should have known it all along.
It just means so much to you when you do play. You got to do it.
Ain't no pleasing you.
Been a few on this session, good half of them are songs we never planned, but that's when the magic happens. And the magic has certainly happened on this album.
You got another thing coming, I'm telling you that for nothing. Oh, darling, I'm a-leaving. That's what I'm gonna do.